Hello students, today we are going to read a poem named A Legend of the Northland written by Fabi Carey, an American poet who was born on 4th September 1824 and died on 31st July 1871. Some of her works include poems and parodies, One Sweetly Solemn Thought and Hymns for All Christians. So, this poem, A Legend of the Northland, is a ballad. So, what is a ballad? A ballad is a song that narrates a story in short stanzas, as you'll find in this poem. A Legend of the Northland, legend means it's about events or people of the ancient times. So, before proceeding to the poem, let me tell you about the theme of this poem. This poem is about an old lady who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. So let's read the poem. A Legend of the Northland. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter, and they cannot sleep them through. So away, away in the Northland. This sentence means it's about the North Pole or the cold region, where the hours of the day are few. Means the days are shorter than the nights, and the nights are so long. Means it's winter, it's a cold place, North Pole. So where the days are shorter and the nights are longer, that they cannot sleep them through. This sentence also tells that the nights are too long, that they take a sleep, again they wake up, but they see that it's a night. Means the night is very long. Next stanza, where they harness the sweet reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cops in their funny furry clothes. So where they means the people in the of that region, they harness means to tie or to fasten or to strap the sweet reindeer. As you know that it's a reindeer is found in that place. So people, they used to tie the reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bear's cub. So the children, they look like that, as if a baby, it's a cub of a bear in their funny furry clothes, because they have wrapped themselves in furry clothes. That's why they look like a baby cub or bear's cub. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it is true. So the people, they used to tell this a story, but the poet here, she tells that she doesn't believe in this story, but yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Here the poet describes that this is a story, imaginative story, but it has a moral lesson, it has an information to the society. So, and yet you may learn a lesson, means by reading this poem you can get a lesson, you can get a moral from this poem. Once when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching, just as he did, you know. So once the good Saint Peter, as you know that Saint Peter, they are the preachers, they preach, they usually preach religious thoughts, religious teachings to the people. So one day the Saint Peter, he came down, he walked about and preaching. His job was to preach religious thoughts, just as he did, you know. He came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. So he came down to the world to preach his religious thoughts. Then he came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth. After traveling round the earth, then he came to a cottage where a woman lived. Here a little woman, and what the woman was doing, she was making a cake and baking them on the hearth, means that is a fireplace. So, and being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. As Saint Peter was very tired of traveling, preaching, and moreover he was also doing fasting, he was very hungry. and he was about to faint. So the Saint Peter was in need of some food, and he requested the lady to give him a cake. So for the day was almost done, and he asked her means here the old lady, the lady from her store of cakes. Saint Peter asked the woman to give him a piece of cake, to give him a single piece of cake, so that he will not feel, because he was very hungry and he was about to faint. So he made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. Then he made a very little cake. Then he baked the cake. Then he looked at it. When the woman looked at the cake, she found that this is a little bit bigger in size, so which she cannot give to Saint Peter. So it seemed too large to give away. So she felt that the cake is bigger in size to give away to Saint Peter. Therefore, again what she did, therefore she needed another and still a smaller one, and it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. Therefore she needed means made another dough, another mixture, then still a smaller, to make a smaller one than what she has prepared in the beginning and in the first, and still a smaller one, but it looked, again it became also large in size, not in smallest size. It is when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. The second cake was also as large as the first cake. So she again felt that this was also bigger in size to give away to Saint Peter. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer, but she could not part with that. Then again she took a tiny scrap means small pieces of dough. Again she made a small scrap of dough and rolled it, and she rolled that dough, and she was trying to make a smaller in size to give to Saint Peter. She baked it thin as a wafer, means very thin, like dry biscuit, but she could not part with that. Again she prepared, third time also she prepared very thin, but again she felt that this one is also a little bit bigger in size to give to Saint Peter. For she said, this stanza is very important. For she said here, she is telling to herself, my cakes that seem too small when I eat up them myself are yet too large to give away. Means here how selfish the woman was, that she is telling that my cakes that seem too small when I eat up them myself. So she is telling that when I eat myself, I eat a very small or very little amount or a tiny scrap of cake, but how can I give to somebody else a bigger in size, bigger cake? And are yet too large to give away. Then she put them on the shelf. Then she felt that it was also bigger in size to give Saint Peter, so she kept that cake on the shelf. Then good Saint Peter grew angry. So it was too late, and he was about to faint, and he was very hungry at the same time, and he felt very angry. Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a sin. Provoke means made somebody angry. So she took more time to give a small piece of cake to Saint Peter. So that made Saint Peter very angry. He grew angry, and then what happened in the next stanza? See, and he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. Then Saint Peter grew very angry, and what was his reaction towards the lady? Then Peter said, you are too selfish to dwell in a human form. You should not consider yourself a human being, and you should not maintain a good human life. You should not get food, you should not get shelter and fire to keep yourself warm. Means Saint Peter cursed the old woman. that you are too selfish. You should not be called yourself a human being. You should not get food like human being. You should not get shelter and warm fire to keep yourself warm. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard and dry food. Then Saint Peter caused the lady that you should not be called yourself a human being. You should live like a bird, and you shall get your scanty means very small amount of food, because you do not like to give others, you do not like share your cakes to with others. So you should get very small amount of food by boring. And that how you'll get your food? By boring and boring and boring all day in the hard and dry wood. By boring the dry wood, you will get very little, very small amount of food. Then you will understand that how selfish you are. Then then it was the curse of Saint Peter to the old lady. Then up she went through the chimney. Then the lady went up through the chimney, and what happened? Never speaking a word. Then she stopped speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker. Then through the chimney, a bird flew away. Which bird? A woodpecker. And for she was changed to a bird. So the old lady changed from a human being to a woodpecker. It was the cause of Saint Peter to the lady. She had a scarlet cap on her head. Scarlet means that a bright red color cap on her head, that a woodpecker, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame. And all the clothes of that old lady were burned in the flame, and it became black as coal, means the ash of the clothes. The last and every country school boy has seen her in the wood. Now when the children when the school boy, when they were going to school at the time of, they used to see that there is a bird sitting always in the trees. The woodpecker has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring her food. And the schoolboy children, they found a woodpecker living in the trees. And what the woodpecker was doing? It was boring and boring very hard to get us very small amount of food. Now means this was a course from Saint Peter. Boring and boring for food, means that time she was not giving a small piece of cake to Saint Peter, and it was a cause that now is she was boring. She turned she changed into a woodpecker, and it was boring and boring very hard to get its food. So children, what did you get a message from this poem? That sharing, what you should have some positive qualities like sharing, affectionate, love. You should have some compassionate towards others. This poem shows that everybody should have positive qualities and instead of negative qualities. If you have negative qualities, you will surely will be punished for that. So hope children you all like this informative poem. Thank you children.